Hello fish fools, Jeff here. So here's one of my 10-gallon aquariums. This one is dominated by Java moss. And it has various platies, guppies and endlers, and guppies and endlers mixed breeding, creating hybrids. And it also has some pygmy corridors. There's one in there, and there's Neocardiana shrimp in here too. Yeah, there's a pygmy corridor. But yeah, so the Java moss has exploded. It's been like this for quite a while, though not intended, but I do kind of like it like that, and I just let it be. There is some water sprite in here. That's a little piece of Java fern. Like somewhere in here I had Java fern and it's all smothered. But when I set up this tank a while back, I never intended for it to be a Java moss tank like this. But Java moss, it's an easy aquarium plant. It's pretty common as one of the easiest plants. It's pretty much unable to, you can't really kill it. It's going to withstand pretty much any conditions, but its growth does grow pretty rapidly and easily. I mean, this is grown without any effort. I don't inject any CO2 that is used to grow plants. I haven't added any liquid fertilizer to this tank for a long time. Not since there was really very little Java moss in it, and I was just adding fertilizer for the Java fern. And it doesn't have like great lighting. It has this 10-gallon aquarium has an Aquaneat LED light. It's adequate for a 10-gallon aquarium. It's probably a step above like a Beamsworth light and below a Phoenix or a Flu Ball LED light. But when I set up this tank years ago, this tank has an undergravel filter. You can see there's the tubes coming up, so it has a crate underneath the gravel, and just the airflow would filter the water through the gravel. And when I set this up, as I mentioned, it wasn't intended to have Java moss, but I put a little bit, whatever I was thinking at the time, I put some Java moss inside the tube. Just my way of thinking was so it could be in here and absorb nitrates. Maybe looking at this one. This one, so I had the Java moss inside the tube, and then as this was, so it was contained in there because I didn't want, at the time, I didn't want the Java moss to take over the tank because, I mean, this isn't the first aquarium that I had where Java moss grew wild like this. Half my tanks have Java moss in it, and some of them I purposely keep Java moss out of it because, I mean, Java moss can grow out of control, and it sort of can be known as the herpes of aquarium plants. Kind of like duckweed, Like if you get duckweed in your aquarium, you pretty much can't get rid of it. And even if you try to pull it out, all this Java moss, some little pieces might be left behind, and then it'll grow and never go away. Yeah. So, I mean, this tank, the tanks that I have it in, I like for it to grow. I mean, it is like this type of tank with guppies and platies. It's good for cover for the babies, for the fry. Yeah. So when I set this up, I put Java moss inside the tube, purpose of containing it in there. But then, as the bubbles would come up and come out here, it was too much of a glug 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 sound at the time. Before I moved, when I lived in my apartment and where this tank was kept, I could hear it. It was too loud or too much of a distraction from trying to sleep. So that's why I ended up detaching this part, and then so there would be smaller bubbles coming up, and then from there that just released the Java moss, and then eventually it became like this. And I've just let it be this way. And so this is one of several 10-gallon aquariums that I have, and it has just been a tank where I was just adding fish into it kind of temporarily as a holding tank up until I moved, and now it's been like this. I moved 8 months ago, and it's pretty much been the same. What I think I might do with this and several of my other 10-gallon aquariums is do some separating, and I think I might want to do some selective breeding. I might keep one of them for just virgin females, and then take them and keep one of my tanks just for selective breeding, and then spread the others to other community tanks. But yeah. So, Java moss. Easy aquarium plant. Grows rapidly with almost no effort. Alright, well that's it for now. And remember, I'm Jeff, and I enjoy fishies. Thanks for watching.